for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins, make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, U4GM Coins. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off your order. Yo, what's good guys, Venom Fire here back from the video, and today I'm bringing you guys my full New England Patriots offensive ebook. It's what a lot of people think is the best offense in the game. There's a ton of diversity, you got tons of great formations, you got split close, ace slot, trips, tight end, bunch, and the list goes on. So those are what I'm going to be going over mainly. There are some other center sets that I'm not going to talk about, but yeah, this video I'm going to try and go through pretty fast. Now I have made separate videos on pretty much all of these formations, bunch, trips, tight end, not specifically Patriots bunch, but yeah, I even made a video on Pat Sale by itself. So although I will be going fast through a lot of these formations, I have made separate videos on them. You can look them up and watch them yourselves. I will be showing a good amount of plays in this, but again, don't want the video to be necessarily super long. So again, starting out, we'll just be in the split close. Here's a look at my audibles. I got PostShot, Power O, wide receiver corners, and mesh. Now again, the other play I'm going to be running is X-Drag Trail, so I'll just come out in that. And today's video is going to be mainly on how to beat the man coverage meta. So we're going to be going into man coverage a whole lot today. Show you guys how to beat man coverage and all of that. So starting out, X-Drag Trail, we got a post, we got a deep post, and then we also have just a drag and an angle route. This plays really good stock. You can run it stock. You got a lot of man beaters. First up, you got this little drag route that's going to be really nice against man, again, especially if you have a speed advantage. It's going to be even better. Jameer Bird, we all know about his speed. Now, one thing about split close is that I don't think you can get 3 receivers here. At least I'm pretty sure that you cannot get 3 wide receivers. So I am using the Patriots here. So Ryan Izzo is not exactly the best player, but you see he still is able to get pretty decent separation considering the fact he's a 66 overall. So it's going to be a little bit of a struggle at the tight end position for today's video. I do apologize, but again, you see, look at he still gets separation. He's a 66 overall, and although his catching is so awful, you see that super slow, low overall player can still get separation. That's how good that it can be against man coverage. We also got this angle route that is really nice. Now, again, it's kind of going to be difficult to throw it against the computer just because they have that little yellow zone, that 3-rec hook. And then they also have the player that's man up on the running back. You could just come out here, quick snap to get that player out of the way. But you see, it's not exactly the best angle route in the game. It is quick breaking, but you see how he's getting clamped up by the man coverage. So again, if you have backfield master, that definitely helps. You can throw him on that other angle route. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this play against zone coverage. I don't really use it for the one-play TD, but you see how you could get some separation on that post if you didn't have a super slow receiver running it. Again, I don't run this play all too much, so I'm not going to talk about it for too long. Moving on, hop into the PostShot. This play I like a whole lot, mostly for this crossing route with Jameer Bird, and you notice that I have my split close on I have these 2 players on the short side of the field. The reason for that is PostShot, a play that I run a whole ton. I want my crosser route to not have to run completely across the field. That's the way you do it. I do recommend blocking both your halfbacks for this. This is a little nice max protect setup as I just accidentally motioned him out. I guess it's fine though. So you got a little slant. You also got this crosser. Crossers, by far, the best way to beat man coverage this year in my opinion. Crossers from the tight end position as well as the wide receiver position are both very effective. And you also will put B on a backside slant. The reason you do that is just to give you another little route that's going to beat man coverage. You see, if I wait, ultimately, the yellow zone will stop defending it, which a lot of people don't have anyways when they're running man coverage. Probably should have just ran a stock 2-man under instead of cover 1 because it is kind of annoying to have, but you throw Edelman on either a drag or a slant route, and he will still do the job as, geez, the Patriots O-line must be terrible or something. We're getting instant shedded every play. But yeah, this is really the only setup I run. If you wanted to, obviously, you can always go with something like this. Maybe throw Y on and backside option, be on like a zig. Just to give you a couple of ideas, you see Edelman able to get a lot of separation on that zig. So you can mix in certain things like that against man coverage that are nice to have. Moving on, we got just a base Power O. Power O, it's actually a nice play. I like it a lot when people stack the box, so spread out defenses like this one will actually be pretty good at defending it. Now, usually when you run split close with a right-handed QB, you want to make sure you run to the left so you get that quick handoff animation. But you see how big the hole is. Obviously, I know we're in a dollar formation. But you can get really good holes to the outside if they're in a 3-4 odd or whatever. Again, dollar's pretty good at defending this run just because waiting for the guards, and then they have both the corners on the outside. But again, decent run. You want to mix it in if you're running a split close heavy offense. Again, not too special. Moving on, we got wide receiver corners. This play I like a lot. You got a lot of quick breaking corner routes, and then this route with Izzo is actually also good against man coverage. I usually just throw both running backs on a little wheel route, and that's in case they're running zone. Now again, if I could or if I wanted to, if I know they're running man, something I could do is just go ahead and actually throw them both my halfbacks on the little option routes like this. Again, that's not necessary. You see, look at Edelman, he gets separation, and although that corner out on the right side is not as good as the one on the left, it still is a good corner out and still can beat man coverage. Again, Edelman's not exactly the best receiver or the fastest receiver, but again, zone, I like to create a couple high-low reads. You see Demir Bird able to get nice separation on that corner out. Again, Ryan Izzo's route typically does beat man coverage. Again, they will have that yellow zone in the middle of the field that prevents us from throwing it. But yeah, moving on, we got mesh. Now mesh, there's a good way to beat zone. And the way I like to beat zone is just going to be X on a flat. Again, we're focused on man coverage. But what I like to do is smart route B. I'm going to block my RB running back, and then I'm going to motion B over. So you kind of want him smart routed so that he's deeper, and then I like to put A on a little slant. Usually you want to motion snap him, so I'm just going to have to motion him across and then do it again. But you will see you're going to motion the tight end over, and again, in Ultimate Team, get someone like Jermichael Finley, Jonnu Smith, so that they're faster, but you see you got a slant, boom, you motion them over, you got a post, you got this little slant, and again, if you want Demir Bird kind of out of the play, which is something that I like to do, then you just throw him on, or you can leave him on the drag or throw him on that little drag, and again, maybe in that case, I throw RB on like an option, or I can just max protect, put A on a slant, B smart routed, motion him across. You got a drag, slant, post, but again, you won't have to worry about those little routes coinciding with each other or running into each other. But yeah, you see you got a slant. All those routes beat man coverage. Nice concept to mix in. With that being said, we'll move on to the ace slot. And again, I am going pretty fast. That was still 7 minutes, so not too fast, but I've already preset all my audibles for these formations. Here's a look at my audibles for this formation: Owen Trap, inside zone, levels, YSL, and post. Start out with the Owen Trap. It's a very popular run this year, and I'll just come out in a base like cover 3 or something. But Owen Trap, you can just run it stock, and you will see amazing blocks up the middle. I didn't really want to run man coverage out of like a 3-4 because I didn't want like the linebackers messing anything up as I accidentally flipped the formation. I do apologize for that. But yeah, Owen Trap works against weak boxes, heavy boxes. You see they got 7 people in the box right here, and boom, we're still able to get perfect blocking. Again, even with a slow or a low overall running back, you see we're able to get nice holes up the middle. Again, the Owen Trap, look at that right there. As far as the second level, not too well to get maybe a touchdown, but still. Some people have Owen Trap defense. Be careful about that, but you can also mix in the inside zone, and usually I like to get to the outside if that player can hold his block. You definitely have a big hole to the outside, which is nice to have. So, again, just keep those couple things in mind. But yeah, this is more of a running formation in my opinion this year. Really, when you come out in this formation, you want to run the football, you want to pound the rock, and that's exactly what I like to do. Even if I am trying to pass, let's say I'm running a U-trips, I'm trying to pass out of the Patriots playbook, maybe I'm running trips. If I notice him with terrible run D, I might just try and mix in this run and really pound the rock. You see the blocks right there again, and obviously if they stack the box, they have potential to get block sheds or whatever, but yeah, even against the 3-4 odd, we're getting pretty good holes. Obviously, it just comes down to a couple of good D linemen they have getting a shed or whatever. So again, Owen Trap inside zone, definitely great combination right there. We would have had a hole if that guy just picked up his block for whatever reason he decided not to. But yeah, very nice couple of plays to mix in. Jeez, our center is getting manhandled by, who is that, Danny Shelton, I think? Yeah, I think it would have to be Danny Shelton. He's definitely a dog up the middle, but yeah, definitely a solid run scheme. One of the best in the game, so mix that in a lot if you're running this playbook. Moving on, we got levels Y sail. My favorite setup is just a little quick snap setup. Y on a streak. I got A, the corner route. I got this little table route I can always throw. Cover 3 does a pretty good job of defending it, especially from that linebacker. So cover 3, you usually want to throw the corner out. Against cover 2, you obviously want to throw the flat. But yeah, I can like quick snap this little route to Damiere Byrd, that simple dig route. Now, even though he doesn't have good route running, he's able to make that break quick enough and make the play. Again, usually I will throw this corner out. Obviously, safeties usually will fall down on it a little bit more. But if you notice him like lurking in the middle to where you can't really throw either route, what I would recommend is just putting him on like a wheel route, because then it's more obvious to throw both routes. You have a little bit more space to throw both that wheel route and the corner route. So again, something nice to have. But yeah, level sail, it's more of just a quick snap play. If I roll out, I can definitely hit that corner out better. So if you have escape artist or whatever, that's what I recommend doing out of the levels Y sail play. But yeah, you can just go to the line of scrimmage. You don't even have to put Y on a streak. That's just something I like to do. Look at B, gets right in the gap of a cover 3 defense. So yeah, levels Y sail, really, really solid play. Moving on to posts. Posts, we all know that you can just run it stock. You got a lot of man beating routes, X. Sometimes it beats man coverage. You got that corner out that'll beat man. You got the other tight end corner out that doesn't really beat man. But again, some of these routes are still, you still can get separation if you have like a better player. And then you obviously got the angle route again. You want to attack the flats right there. So if you're going against zone coverage, now against man coverage, really you can actually do something like this where maybe I would smart out X, smart out B, and then just motion them across the formation. Obviously here I kind of want to get rid of my angle route so that they're not running in the same section or area. But look at Damiere Byrd. He gets into a perfect spot. And if I were to lowball that, which I didn't, that's an easy dot against zone. And you saw how fast he broke on the route. So that means he's going to be really good against man. Again, the setup, smart out X, smart out B. And then again, I would probably either put my running back on like a wheel route or something to get him away from that other post. But you see Damiere Byrd, quick breaking. You can lowball perfectly in between the zone. I could do the same concept for Edelman coming from the right to the left side. Again, posts, you can obviously do a couple of things. I can motion snap like this. And low ball, which is the concept I like against zone. It also gives you more space if you're trying to use that corner out to beat man coverage. But yeah, again, just a simple concept. Something I like to do is just throw like B on like a drag, smart out X. And that gives you just a couple of underneath concepts. It's something good to mix in. I threw that drag way late right there. But yeah, obviously if I were to throw the drag, I probably would have rolled out and chose between the drag and the corner out. So again, just a couple of ideas for you, not necessarily written setups, but just a couple of freestyle concepts. Again, I have more base like setups in my actual gun A slot scheme. So again, make sure you check that out if you want more on this scheme. But yeah, just gave you 4 decent plays, a lot of good setups out of this. And yeah, we'll move on to our next formation, U trips. Now, I haven't ran a whole lot of U trips this year, I will say, so don't have exactly too many setups out of the formation. Here's a look at my audibles: tight end deep out, Y option, wheel, power, and scat. Now, a couple of honorable mentions I'm not going to mention, but I did mention my U-trip scheme. We got curl flats, which is a play I like to run a lot. You also got, I think, pat slot out, which is a play I will actually show today. So I'll show pat slot out. Again, we'll be going against man coverage here. But I'll just start out with the halfback power, just get over with really quickly. Again, similar to the power out of the split close formation. You want to run it to this side, you're going to get a faster handoff animation. And this is a run I like a whole lot. I would love to mix this in. When I'm running U-trips, and if anybody's running U-trips, a lot of times you know that you can get pass happy. But this is a nice way to mix in the run. It's a pretty good run. Right here, they're able to blow it up decently. But again, sometimes you can pop it off, use a little motion. Geez, I don't know what that run stick was. This running back is like a really low overall. I'm not even sure why he's in the game. But again, halfback power, it's there. You see, we're getting 5 yards of pop. Again, if they were to stack the box, you still might have success with this. Now, if you're wondering how I got James White here at tight end, what I did is I went to the fullback wing package. And then I had just subbed in my lineup screen James White at the fullback position. What that does is just subs your fullback in at tight end. It's what a lot of people do if you don't have a good tight end or whatever. So starting out, I'll go with the Y option wheel. I'll smart out X, put RB on a flat, put B on a slant and A on either a block or like a drag. You can put him on a streak. Now this is a good play, better play against zone, because you see this wheel route gets open against cover 3. But against man, it still can. Jeez, Demir Bird just got pressed into the 5th dimension right there. And that's kind of the annoying part, is that the Patriots don't have any good receivers, really. Or Edelman's good, but besides him, who do they got? So I probably should have chose a different team. Again, it is what it is. But you saw the slant. The post route usually does get separation. It should right there. Yeah, you see you got separation. So I guess you don't have to smart out it if you don't want to. But yeah, you got the post. That's going to get good separation. Again, this is the Y option wheel play. Again, throw him on a backside slant. Throw Marquise Lee on a backside slant. And then just block your tight end. That's going to give you 2 man beating routes. And again, in case he mixes in zone or whatever, Harris can get separation. Sometimes you get separation against or man coverage as well if you have like backfield master or something that gives you better route running. So yeah, moving on, tight end deep out. Now this play is more so better against zone coverage, specifically cover 2, but you see sometimes that stretch route on the left-hand side, the wide side, does get separation. Something I like to do with this is, again, you could just run sort of the same thing where you put RB on a slant, just a little, or block your tight end. That Y route can get separation. Damian Harris, I think his name is not a good running back, so he's not going to get separation. But yeah, definitely a good play. Again, better against zone, but we'll block our tight end. Y can get separation as he just actually fell down, but you see the post route still going to beat man. And sometimes if they press without shading over the top and you have like a super fast receiver, these routes are really nice to beat man coverage. So you see even a guy like Marquise Lee, who doesn't exactly have the most speed, is getting pretty good separation. You see we're getting that catch every time. So again, even if I were to have like Demir Bird over there, he would get the separation. I'll actually try flipping it just to see. Never mind, I forgot that it completely flips your entire formation. Or it just flips like the receivers all the way across the formation. But yeah, moving on to our last play, we got Scat. This is going to be similar to the mesh play to split close. You're going to smart out RB, put B on a slant, and then what I like to do is just throw like X on either a flat or a zig, block my running back, and then with my tight end, I'll throw him on like an out route or a streak, usually an out route. Again, you'll motion Edelman from right to left, and you got slant, zig, out route. You got a lot of good man-beating routes, I would say. Just make the read. Again, he'll have to use one of these, and again, you see these like low overall receiver getting good separation against man coverage, so that definitely does not matter. Again, the setup for this play, which is the Scat play, is going to be smart out RB, B on a slant, A on an out route, X on a flat, block your halfback, motion Edelman over, and again with X on a flat, I meant to say zig. If it's zone coverage, you can put him on that zig route. Oh geez, I gotta love EA buffing the pass rush when the pass rush is already good. Great decision, EA. This is today's patch. If you didn't know, EA decided to buff the pass rush when it was already absolutely insane out of like a 3.35 or $1. So hats off to you guys at EA Sports. Out route, you can get separation, especially with a fast running back. So if it's defended by maybe a slower safety who's obviously you can't press the tight end, then that's nice to have. But yeah, that's pretty much my only setup. Moving on to our last play, we got this Pat slot out. Now, Pat slot out, again, you're just going to put X on like a slant. Usually I would put RB on like a zig, backside zig. And with A, you could either put him on like a flat, block him, whatever. But again, you're going to motion Edelman over here, and you're just going to motion snap him right there. You got like a slant. Boom, you see the separation on the zig. So that was actually a bad pass by me. But there was separation if I would have just allowed that and pass led upfield. Again, I like to smart out B, get him a little bit deeper. Put RB on like a backside zig, X on a slant. And again, you see out of the U-chips, a lot of what I'm doing are slanted posts coming across the middle. That's really what it is the best for, I would say. Again, just motion them over like that. And you see, look at the slant route, got great separation. Post route, got good separation as well. So, going to move on to trips. Now, I'm really not going to talk about trips a whole lot. I'm just going to go through maybe once for every setup because I've made tons of videos on trips. I've talked about these tons. I have 2 separate videos on this, and then I actually have a Raiders ebook that has a lot of these plays. So I'm just going to be going over the 4 base plays very, very quickly. I do apologize for that, but again, if you want, check out my other videos. I have a specific video on man coverage, beating man coverage, and then I have a separate video on like zone that I uploaded earlier in the year. So first play, PA post shot, A on a streak, B on a zig, smart out, X, and snap the ball. Again, the crosser is going to get separation, pending your receiver is 50 speed like Julian Edelman, who, again, Edelman, anybody faster than Edelman is going to get way more separation on that. Sometimes the zig gets separation, especially if they shade over the top. In this case, they're not shaded over the top, so they're not going to get good separation. With the S-post, sometimes you can. Again, it's way better if they shade over the top on that S-post, which is what a lot of people do. A lot of people are shading over the top these days. Because bench press is worse, a little bit worse. Zig route, obviously, if they shade over the top, again, it gets open. So not the best play, PA post shot, if they aren't shaded over the top, but it still can work. And again, if you want to know how to run trips with a tight end apprentice, I definitely used that in both of my videos. So just in case you were wondering about that. But you see, PA post shot, moving on, inside zone, base inside zone. I've talked about this out of every formation. Just going to run it once. It's there. You can run it at any time. We got verticals, RB on a wheel, B on a zig, motion Edelman in. You actually can't motion, but you want to put him on a backside slant. So it's going to look like this. That's a good concept. You see X gets a good step on that outside corner. So if you get pressed, that's a good route that beats it. But yeah, this corner route's good against man. You got the wheel route. You got this zig route that can get open. You got the backside motion slant that obviously won't get pressed, so you will get really nice separation on that. So again, can low ball it, whatever. That's a good play. I don't know how in the crap he dropped that ball, but he did. Moving on, last play, PA counter go, A on a streak, Y on a zig, X on a backside slant. It's going to look like this. You got the crosser, you got the slant. Both are really nice against man coverage. You can keep the play action or you can cancel it. You see the crosser gets good separation. Again, Marquise Lee's lower overall. Again, these are all 75 overall receivers, besides Edelman, who's slow, so he's basically like a 75. Detroit actually has some fast corners, so yeah, keep that in mind. Motion them across like so, and yeah, you can see now we got better separation on that crossing route. We got the slant. You all know about that. So again, that's all I'm going to talk about for trips. Just going over it very, very, very briefly. Keep in mind, like I mentioned, multiple videos on this, so check those out. Not specifically out of Patriots, but I still do got a lot of other plays out of this. So I'm going to start out. Here's my audibles: pat sail, base, verts, and corner strike. Here I'll just go against zone because man coverage is not, these specific plays are not the best against man coverage. Pat sail, you run it stock, you can snap the ball. You got the corner out that gets into the zones very quick or very good. You can low ball it. You got the flat that was obviously wide open, and then you got that backside post route. I'll just show it a couple of times. Here, I'll throw the flat. You can cut it upfield. Ryan Izzo picks up a nice 5 yards. Again, moving on, you can go ahead and throw like X on a backside slant if you want. You got the post to slant combo, very effective. You can also throw this little ghost route with the running back in the backfield. So again, just a couple of nice plays. I made a separate video on this play as well. We got base. Again, I actually like the base a lot out of bunch this year, and especially running to the left side, you can get a lot of good holes. We got verticals. Verticals, I like to throw RB on like just a drag, something like this. You got 2 drags, and again, this is better against man coverage, actually, I would say. But you got the drag, you got that little under route, both very, very solid. Now, specifically against like zone, cover 2, you can obviously like run it stock. I like to actually go with this setup against zone, where I just throw my running back on the streak, and he gets into the holes very well against cover 3 and such. Same with the tight end. Moving on to our just last play, and I'm sorry I'm going through these very quickly. Again, I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I got a lot of setups on these. Corner strike, very good. That corner out will be open against cover 2. This play is kind of useless against man coverage, though. So, yeah, just went over it briefly. Again, the bunch out of Patriots playbook is not very good anyways. No one really is running bunch out of Patriots playbook. You got U-chips, you got all these other formations that are a lot better, so keep that in mind. With that being said, it's going to be it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like, hit that sub, and peace. I'm out of here.